Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam Show. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam Show. Turn it up.
What's going on, everybody? Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of the Pancakes and Powerslams Show. 612 episodes. This is the final P&P of the year. We are live and living Culligan, funky like a monkey, if you will, baby. Yeah, we are here once again, day after Christmas, ladies and gentlemen, day after Christmas, and I wish and I hope and I pray that everyone had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas holiday. I definitely did. And I hope everybody got gifts or rest or both or neither, maybe, and still had a good Christmas. Of course, it's my show, so I can say what I want. Jesus is the reason for the season. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sticking to it. Yes, indeed. All right, I hope everybody had a good Christmas. What's up? Av is in the building. We are going to talk about what is next for AJ Styles. What is next for AJ Styles? Be sure to join us here. Of course, for those new to Pancakes and Powerslams, hello, I'm Dr. Chris. This is Pancakes and Powerslams. I have been doing this show every week since April of 2012. So it's been over 11 and a half years. This coming April will be 12 years that I've been doing this show every week. Every single week except one when I went on a cruise. So to give myself a break from life, and that was this year actually. So that was the first time I've missed an episode a week, but I missed a couple of weeks, probably a handful. In that time of Pancakes and Powerslams, I've had 3 kids, and I became a doctor. So lots of works, and I had 3 back surgeries, 2 back surgeries. No, wait, 3 back surgeries, and a gallbladder surgery. So I've had 3 kids, 4 surgeries, and excuse me, 5 years of doctoral studies in the past. And how many degrees? Since 2012, I've obtained 1 master's, 4 degrees in 11 years. 4 degrees, yes. I've gotten 3 masters and a PhD. Yep. So lots of stuff that I've done in the past 11 years. And, Lord willing, God will give me 11 more to produce, to do bigger and better. And I'm looking forward to it. Been a lot going on in the past 11 years. And look, if this is your first time, thank you for joining me here on the Pancakes and Powerslams Show. Look, this is a very listener-based show. I answer questions with my pro wrestling expertise. What makes me a pro wrestling expertise? I used to be a writer for Sports Illustrated. I used to be a writer for Fox Sports. I used to be a writer for Bleach Report. I used to write for The Inquisitor. I used to write for Digital Spy. I've written for so many wrestling dirt sheets, etc. And I have a lot of wrestling articles under my belt, thousands of pro wrestling articles as a journalist. I've interviewed nearly 500 wrestlers and nearly a couple of dozen WWE Hall of Famers. I might be up to that by now, actually. And yeah, so I've been podcasting for since 2012. So yeah, that's who I am. That's what I bring to the table. I have a PhD in psychology, forensic psychology, actually. I actually also have a master's degree in psychology and criminal justice with specialization in behavioral sciences and theological studies. So I bring a lot of psychological angle to pro wrestling nowadays. I used to amateur wrestle and actually trained to be MMA, to fight MMA years ago, about 15 years ago. And I was actually offered twice in my adult lifetime to become a professional wrestler. So yeah, so that's my amateur. That is my professional wrestling background and knowledge. Since then, I decided to decline both of them because I wanted to be a doctor. I did not want pro wrestling to get in the way of me becoming a doctor. I always wanted to be a doctor. Since growing up, I watched the Cosby Show as a kid in the 80s, and I said, I want to be a doctor. And I knew that as much as I love pro wrestling and I would love the glitz and glamour of being on a WrestleMania platform and walking that aisle. I said no to both of those. The first time I was offered a contract, pro wrestling opportunity was, I believe, 1999. And so if I would have said yes to that, that would have been my first year as a pro wrestler. So I would have been wrestling for almost 25 years. Next year would have been 25 years of me being a pro wrestler. So if I would have said yes to the first pro wrestling contract that I was offered, but I said no, because even back then I knew I wanted to become a doctor, and I accomplished that and became a doctor. So, and trust me when I say I am much happier of making that decision than becoming a pro wrestler. Because why? Because I get paid to talk about pro wrestling. Like I legit get paid to just talk about pro wrestling nowadays. And I get paid to talk about pro wrestling and be a doctor. That's a win. Less bumps, and I get paid to just talk about it and not take bumps. And I get paid a lot of money to be a doctor. I think that's a win. So I praise God for that. All right, so that's who I am. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of Pancakes and Power Slams. We have fun every single week. And I answer questions. And I also am a podcaster for Sportskeeda. Sportskeeda offered me an opportunity to use my expertise to help their platform a few years back, and now their platform has grown exponentially with the podcast that I've anchored. I do 4 podcasts there a week. One with Vince Russo, one with Bill Apter, 2 with Vince Russo, 1 with Bill Apter, and then another one with Vince Russo and EC3. So that and also brought Dutch Mantel over to Sportskeeda, and he has a SmackDown podcast that they used him for. So yeah, that is my expertise. All right, so with that being said, thank you for your support. Thank you for joining me in Pancakes and Power Slams, and I hope that you like, share, subscribe. If this is your first time here, let's talk about AJ Styles and questions from the PNP Nation. Let's get right into it. Elvis, what's up, my man? What has happened to the Titans? The same thing that's been happened to the Titans. We just aren't good, man. I mean, there were years that we only won 1 game. So we just aren't good. I mean, what was it? A few years back that we were like 1-14. So I mean, every now and then we'll have. I think we made the playoffs couple of years ago, 21 maybe, we lost the Bengals, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, that's as far as we go. I mean, yeah. So let's see. I think what year was it? That's I think it was with Malarkey, or I think it was maybe with Munchak that we only won one game or two. I think maybe we were like 2-14. 2014. It was with Weisenhunt. Oh Lord, yeah, it was with Ken Weisenhunt. We were 2-14. So what happened to the Titans? Let me give you a short rundown of the Tennessee Titans in the past 20 years, since 2003. All right, 2003, we were 12-4, so we actually did really good. 2002, before that, 11-5, 13-3, 2000. I'll even go a little bit further back. With Steve McNair's years. Steve McNair was a monster there, man. 13-3 in 99, 13-3 in 2000, 7-9 in 2001, not so much. 11-5 in 2002, which was really good. 12-4 in 2003. McNair, other than 2001, McNair's years were really, really good. 2005, he was out in 2004. 2005, he came back and didn't do good. But then we had Vince Young for a couple of years. 8-8, 10-6. We had Kerry Collins for 2 years, and then we had Kerry Collins started. We were 13-3, which was good. Then we had Vince Young again and 8-8 again, which wasn't good. Then Kerry Collins came back 6-10. And so since then, just like Vrabel's, a couple of Vrabel years were good. So let me see. It was 6-10, 7-9. So 2012, with Hasselbeck, when we had Hasselbeck, it was Matt Hasselbeck. It was 9-7. So, just barely making it. Then 6-10, 7-9, 2-14, which was horrible. 3-13 in 2014, 15. 14 and 15 were horrible. Then they got rid of Weisenhunt, put Malarkey there, Mike Malarkey. 9-7, 9-7, still wasn't good enough. Did they put Vrabel in there? And since Vrabel got there in 18, so this is his sixth season. 9-7, 9-7, 11-5, 12-5. So I remember when they were 11-5 and 12-5, I was like, all right, man, Vrabel's doing some things. And then the past 2 years, they've just stunk up the place, man. I mean, we were, like I said, last year we were leading the division and we lost 7 straight games. And the last game we lost to was against a Jacksonville Jaguars team who had a losing record. And they went as the leader of the AFC South with a losing record. I mean, it was horrible, absolutely horrible. So what has happened to the Titans? It doesn't seem like Mike Vrabel wants to be there anymore, and it's showing with the team. And plus, we're trying to our quarterback situation has been struggling for a long time. We tried to do it with Marcus Mariota, didn't work. Then we try to do Ryan Tannehill because he was showing some spark, not so much. Then we put Malik Willis in. No, we did Josh Dobbs toward the end of last year, and he didn't do too bad, but we let him go. We didn't keep him. And then Will Levis from Kentucky. he's actually been showing some spark, but he got injured. And then we put Ryan Tannehill, and then we blew a lead against Seattle. So that's the Titans for you, man. That's the Titans. What do I want to accomplish next year? Expand my psychology career. I want to expand my psychology career to make it even more lucrative than what it is now. That's my goal. And to travel more. That would be fun. This AJ reminds me of the AJ character from TNA. I hope it goes somewhere. So as far as what's going on, I think Fightful Select report that I got to give people their due. I believe it was Fightful Select that that reported that there are no concrete plans for Styles. They just brought him in and just see where it goes, kind of as a tweener. He's actually not considered a heel. He's not considered a full-fledged heel. They just wanted to bring him in, something different, and just kind of like this lone wolf character, seemingly like he was in TNA. But I think the No One character, first of all, that AJ Styles music was the best AJ Styles music in his entire career. And I love Christian rap, so I was a big fan of Grits taking over his Get Ready to Fly song, or Phenomenal I Am. So I was a fan of Grits having his song. I liked it, actually. But that No One song from the Evil Ways, man, that song fit him like a glove. It was incredible. And it made more sense of why he decided to have that character back then, because of the Aces and Eights and because of them offering him an opportunity to be a part of the group and him rejecting and stuff like that. And then he became a lone wolf. So that made sense. And that led up to Bound for Glory when he, won. So I liked that. That was a really good thing. But now it just doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense of why AJ Styles is this lone wolf character now. Like, it just, I don't know. I mean, I also think that AJ Styles should wet his hair. Like the fanny hair that he has. I like his hair long. It's fine. But I think it should be like slick and wet, and he should come out in the hood. Like if he wants to really hone in this kind of like mystique lone wolf style character, I think they're like diluting it with me. Okay, he wears black pants now and comes out in a trench coat. I mean, like, okay. I mean, what does that mean? So I'm glad that he has an edge. He looks amazing, looks jacked. But at the same time, like if you want to do it, then do it, man. Like don't keep just half butting, these characters, man. Work on character development when it comes to WWE. That's something that I really wish that's what brought WWE to the dance. It was a misfit circus show in many ways. I mean, you had characters, you had people to believe that there were real human beings portraying characters that they were so good that you actually believed that Doink was a clown. You actually believed that Matt Bourne was a clown. You actually believed that Bret Hart somehow was a Canadian hitman. You believed that Hulk Hogan was this immortal person who was just like larger than life. You believed that the Undertaker was dead. Like you believed that Randy Savage was this person just oozing with machismo. Like, and same thing with Razor Ramon. You thought he was like a Scarface style character. You believed in these people. You believed that they were that person. You believed that Kurt Hennig was perfect. Like, it was so good because you believed that the characters were real. But the problem with today's WWE and pro wrestling in general is the character is just there because they have to be, and they focus so much on the wrestling that the characters are shrouded, man, and the buy-in just isn't there. And if you want to invest in the character, man. Have AJ Styles be out, have him be this, where am I going, what I'm going to do, this type of tweener / edgy baby face. I'm not a big fan of tweeners because I don't believe that tweeners really have a good landing spot. Like either land to be in the face or heel. Like Austin was a tweener. He landed to be in the baby face. Well, the top baby face, of the WWE in that era. Diesel was a tweener. He landed becoming a heel. So you got to find somewhere to land when you're a tweener. Otherwise, you'll just kind of be lost in the shuffle. But at the same time, where do you want to take AJ Styles? Where do you want to go with this? Do you want to make him, just an edgy baby face and have AJ versus Roman? Makes sense. I mean, he's been, the Bloodline took him out recently. He came back. Sure. Makes sense. LA Knight, he's just kind of there to me. He already went against Roman Reigns. Randy Orton, it was good, but it seems like they probably will go with Orton, but Orton just kind of feels like Roman Reigns just needs a marquee name. That's what it feels like. So AJ Styles actually would be the person that would make the most sense going into feuding with Roman Reigns and having a match against Roman Reigns. I think eventually what you do. I mean, I think ultimately is what I mean to say. Ultimately, Roman Reigns is going to be whoever he goes against at the Royal Rumble. But I think it's at New Year's Revolution that they're trying to do this. So the triple threat's going to be at New Year's Revolution, right? And then so it's for Roman Reigns at the Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. I could be off on that, but yeah. So that's you gotta invest in the characters, man. You gotta hone it in. You gotta make it believable. I'm tired of all these matches for matches' sake. All right, let's dig into the rest of these questions before we head out. As a sports guy, knowing your teams very well, how can we as a sports fan see the problem with, I think you mean our teams, our teams, and these coaches can't see the problems. See, I think the thing is with that, Av, is that Aaron, is that there's the coaches ultimately realize that passion or no passion, they're getting paid a crap ton of money, more money than you and I could even dream of. All right. And so ultimately, and plus there's a lot of pressure that they have to deal with. And ultimately, if they're going to make the same amount of money, win or lose. They want to win, but they're going to make the same amount of money, win or lose. That's the reason why I cannot, especially, I'm a college football guy. I can't stand when college football coaches are just really like emotionless, like just apathetic and emotionless. And then when they lose, they on the press conference, yeah, man, well, they're a better team today, man. They're a tough team. Like, come on with that mess, man. Like, how in the world are the college kids supposed to feed off of that type of energy? Like, why would you expect your college kids to win a game and be passionate about the game if they're looking at you, the leader, you're the coach, and you're on the sidelines basically just being emotionless? I cannot stand when coaches are emotionless. You got to show some passion, man. When the Northwestern coach, David, what's his name? He just became after Fitzgerald. David Braun. Yeah, David Braun. David Braun, when he took over Northwestern and they beat they won their bowl game against Utah a couple days ago. And I watched the game, and it was a fun game to watch. I was rooting for the Big Ten. Of course, everybody knows I'm a huge Ohio State fan. And so I was watching the game, rooting for Northwestern, go Big Ten. And David Braun was over there as passionate as an avid sports fan. And I said, yes, like that is what those kids need to see. You have to think about it. The average person in age, like the average college age is between 18 and 22 years old. I mean, like, of course, you have nowadays, you have red shirts, you have gray shirts. I mean, you have 6 years, 7 years seniors by having a red shirt in a COVID year and, and a transfer and all that, 6, 7 years. You're 25 years old playing, college ball. But still 18 to 22, even 25 is young, but you have an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid there needing that type of energy, needing that type of encouragement, needing that type of just cheering on, support. They feed off of that stuff, man. But at the same time, when it comes to the pros, man, you're like, look, you got 30 and 40-year-old people here, full-grown adults with families, and okay, well, we'll practice and y'all do y'all's thing. I'll coach y'all, but y'all don't want to win today? Okay, well, I'm still going to my mansion and yacht on the hills. So, I mean, the passion isn't there as much, man. All right, let's hurry up with the rest of these. How do you think Sting will go out in March? A long and amazing career. Thank you, Sting. Yes, thank you, Sting, indeed. How would he go out? I think that he would go out. I mean, I think the writing's on the wall with Darby Allin, right? I mean, if it was up to me, he'd retire champ. Might as well. But I imagine, he's been undefeated this whole time. I mean, I imagine losing to Darby Allin, but at the same time, Sting losing to Darby Allin, what does that do? I mean, that doesn't really push Darby Allin because Darby Allin hasn't really been pushed, tremendously. I mean, the time that he had a TNT title was pretty good the first time, but other than that, I mean, unless you have him and Darby win the tag team championships against Ricky Starks and Big Bill, I mean, I'll be fine with that. And then he retired champ, and then you can do a tournament, or you can have Darby Allin pick a partner to have the title with. I mean, that would be fun. That would be cool. What's up, Ricky? Best. All right. Thoughts on if Reigns does hold the title until 2025? It's the same answer that I've had every week. I mean, it's just I don't care if he's only going to wrestle 11 times. I mean, there's no champion that can carry a company if you only wrestle 11 times. So if I don't imagine that being any different. In 2025. So, I mean, so be it, man. I mean, it's so be it. I mean, I don't see that same thing happening in 2024. So be it. So be it. I mean, I'm done. Like I said, I'm done with the Roman Reigns hype. I'm done with it. It's done with it, man. Done with the Roman Reigns hype. I was the person who defended Roman Reigns, to the death, because I was a big Roman Reigns fan, as when he was a babyface. But I mean, his heel work in the beginning was amazing. Bloodline stuff I'm a fan of. But man, look, if the reason why you're not coming on television a lot is because of health reasons, mad respect to that. Take your time, take your time, stay home, get some rest. But you should not do that as champion, though. So I'm not. It's an asterisk. It's an asterisk behind Roman Reigns' reign to me. One, because he wasn't WWE champion until WrestleMania last year. So he technically wasn't WWE champion that whole time. You can't back reign. You can't say that this is Universal Championship, has its own reign, and then all of a sudden he's WWE champion, and then we'll count the Universal Championship reign as a WWE. You can't, you don't do that. I mean, the Universal Championship has its own reign, so that doesn't make sense. So there's an asterisk to it, anyways. So I'm just not on the Reigns train anymore, man. Can you see the Roman tribe chief character still be powerful without the title? I don't see. I think that they've butchered the angle. The tribal chief. I think character-wise, yes. I mean, he still gets heat. I don't even think he needs the title for that to work. I don't. Him having the title worked. Made him look powerful and stuff like that. That helped. But at the same time, man, he doesn't need it to maintain the tribal chief character. What does a babyface run look for him? That could be on the horizon somehow. I just think, again, man, as someone who was adamantly a huge Roman Reigns fan and defender, I'm over it, man. I don't have any interest. All right, y'all. Look, I am heading over to the after party. Look, man, the after party is going to feature trivia, and the trivia is going to be AJ Styles trivia. So I like trivia, as people know. I make my own trivia set of questions every time I do it. So here you go. This is a sneak peek of trivia for today at the after party. It's going to be strictly AJ Styles. So get your thinking caps on quickly. We're going to talk about AJ Styles, and we're going to go to the after party for some AJ Styles trivia, and quickly any of your questions, any type of inside scoops that we can talk about that I may know. I know a lot of stuff. We'll talk about that as well. So beforehand, let's answer this question. Mania Trivia: who was the only wrestler to have a match at WrestleMania 1 and 10? The only person I can think of is, I'm trying to think of all the WrestleMania 1 wrestlers. Steamboat, Hogan, Orndorff, the Hart family. So possibly Bret Hart, because Bret Hart wrestled at 10. But one was 85, and I think Bret came in 86, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to think of all the other people who wrestled at 1. Piper, because 10 was Matt Bourne. Was it Matt Bourne? Because didn't Steamboat go against Matt Bourne at the opener of WrestleMania 1? And then Matt Bourne wrestled as Doink at 10. Ooh, I think that might be my final answer. Matt Bourne. Matt Bourne is my final answer. Because I think he wrestled against Ricky Steamboat. Oh, no, it was the Executioner. It was the Executioner that wrestled against Ricky Steamboat, wasn't it? But I think Matt Bourne did wrestle at WrestleMania 1, though. Yeah, that's my final answer. Leilani Kai, Piper was guest referee for Brett Yokozuna match. Leilani Kai, interesting. Leilani Kai. Well, Bourne was my guess. What was Matt Bourne wrestled at WrestleMania 1? WrestleMania. Leilani Kai. How about that? Where did Leilani Kai wrestle at WrestleMania 10? How about that? Tito Santana. Hold on. Tito Santana beat the Executioner. Ricky Steamboat did go against Matt Bourne at WrestleMania 1. And didn't Doink wrestle Crush at WrestleMania 10? Bam Bam defeated Doink and Dink. Oh, he went against Bam Bam. And Doink during 93 was Matt Bourne. WrestleMania 9. Yes. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I might have been yes. So Bourne was the real Doink in 9, and Kern was the one who was the one that was the illusion. So I was right. Kai wrestled Moolah at 10. Okay. So I was right. So I was not wrong about my answer. So Matt Bourne was correct. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Matt Bourne did wrestle Ricky Steamboat. I was correct about that. The Executioner wrestled Tito Santana. So Ricky Steamboat did wrestle Matt Bourne at WrestleMania 1. And Matt Bourne did wrestle at WrestleMania 10 as Doink. So I was correct. How about that? All right, y'all. That was fun. Let's go to trivia for AJ Styles. And I will see y'all at the after party. Listen, y'all, less than $1 a week. Less than $1 a week to join me for the rest of the show and have some fun AJ Styles trivia. Look, we're heading to the after party, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great 2023 for Pancakes and Powerslams. Continue to share, like, subscribe, let people know about PNP. We have a great time every week. We are heading to the after party. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your 2023, and I will see you next year. Ladies and gentlemen, until then, so long.